Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. So we'll go on without wasting time. Yes, you don't have to do it all alone. The power of a community on your journey. Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, today, inshallah, we're going to be discussing about the reasons why you need a community on your parenting journey and how you can benefit from one. Yes. In the past couple of talking so much about self-care, about burnout and all of those things. And, as far as I know, I would say that one of those things that we can actually take advantage of when it comes to not being stressed, not being overwhelmed, not just being everywhere is the power of a community. Right. So moving forward, parenting is definitely, coming with lots of challenges. It's coming with, even more challenges than we've been seeing. That's just the truth. And that's not because, because of any other thing. That's not because, yes, we can say the world is coming to an end and all of those things. But then technology, as it's coming with its pros, is definitely coming with its cons, right? And of course, there's going to be more tools. So it's just like good, bad news. There'll be lots of challenges. And as we go forward, there are going to be more tools. There are going to be more resources to actually tackle those challenges, right? So it's just like a good news and a bad news. And that's because, of course, technology is taking over. Technology is coming. AI is doing all sorts of things. And we can see it as, it's an advantage because, of course, there are going to be lots of resources. There are going to be so many things that we can actually use to tackle all of these challenges. Yes, there will be emphasis on community support moving forward, right? This is something that I've been seeing, in a couple of years. But then it is when you're actually into all of these things that you will know why all of these things are actually important, why the community is important, having tools is important, having resources is important, and all of those things. So if you do not belong to a thriving community, there'll be lots of challenges. And this is not something, it is not just a hearsay. It's not just because it's because this is something that has been proven. Research has proven that there's going to be a need for people to actually be in a thriving community. Why? Because there are lots of things that we would need to battle with. There are lots of new challenges that we would see. And, it's going to be very difficult for us to say that we're actually, we're in that safe space, right? My name is Marufa Lola Otolori, and I'm the founder of Lola Loves Parenting. And Lola Loves Parenting is a parenting outfit that is designed to provide parents with the necessary skills, the tools, and the resources to raise wholesome children in this century. And like I said, today we'll be discussing about the power of belonging to a parenting community and how a community can benefit you, the power of a community. The thing is, the challenges that we have in parenting isn't just going to be about raising righteous children. It's not just going to be about raising wholesome children. No, that's no longer going to be our challenges moving forward, right? There are going to be so many other things that we will need to wrestle with, that we will need to battle with on our journey, right? It's going to be about managing the algorithm that will shape our children's reality. Because it's something that we already know, that the algorithm is so full of so many things. And just like I said from the beginning, that yes, challenges will come. There'll be more resources. There'll be more tools. And as a matter of fact, people can actually go to Google, go to ChatGPT, Gemini, and all of those things to type their problems and, get answers, right? Those are some of the good side of it. But then it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than just, finding something that actually suits you. And like I said, that because there's so many information out there, when we're talking about burnout and all of those things, because there's so many resources out there, there are so many tools, there's so many information out there. But the truth is that what we need is not actually information. What we need on our journey is wisdom, like I always say. Think about it. If you have a child, whereby knows more about that child than you who is parenting that child, or who is the owner of who raised that child, who gave birth to that child. You can imagine if artificial intelligence know more than you. So are you going to say that you are still the one raising your child, or artificial intelligence is raising your child, if your child knows more than you know about your child, think about it, right? We're going to be in a situation whereby the stranger that we used to fear, they are physical strangers. We say things like, strangers are dangers and all of those things to our children. But we're gradually moving, or we have even moved to that situation, and it's not going to get better. That's just it's the truth, but it's the bitter truth. It's not going to get better. So we're now gradually moving to that situation whereby the stranger that we have now is not the one that is loitering about in the streets. No, it's not. It's actually the one that is a stranger to our child, that our child is a stranger to, and we also are a stranger to, and that person is also a stranger to us. The people that we don't even know, but they are going to be there. They are going to be perpetrating lots of things that we do not even know about. If we do not find ourselves in a place whereby we are held accountable, we are able to actually be in that space whereby we're able to share our experiences, we're able to share whatever it is that is bothering us, and people are able to come together with, answers to our questions. The future of raising our children is a parenting community. This is something that it's not something that is new. It's something that has been there. But we need to emphasize more on why a parenting community is actually very important. A lot of the time, we often talk about the village raising the child. We say things like, it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to raise a child. But think about it. Think about a situation whereby the village does not even hold on to that value that we should hold on to. I shared a video yesterday. Was it yesterday or this morning? I shared a video, of some maybe children, maybe adults, I don't know, but there are people in uniform. It's either they are, they would have met somewhere, maybe in a school, maybe in a worship place. Anyway, they would have met in a place. Those are part of the villages that we thought we have that would raise our children into what we want to see in them. But you can imagine what those people are perpetrating. After I shared the video, I got lots of messages from parents saying, I think they're university children. But the truth of the matter is that, have you even realized that children are in the university also? Have you realized that we have 16 years old in the university? Have you realized that we have 15, 17-year-old in the university? Think about it. Think about it. When I talk about the fact that children do not need to be rushed, out of school or rushed through school, because I don't know what our reason is. These are the things. So people started messaging me that I think they are university, but even if they are adults, even if they are mothers and fathers, even if they are even couples, to say the highest, even if they are even couples, whatever it is that they are displaying out there, is it something that should be displayed outside? Is it meant for the public eye? So we want to think about all of these things. The more we say that, okay, yes, these people are university students, these people are this, these people are that, whatever it is that they are displaying out there, is this something that we need to see? Is it something that should be displayed? Those are our villages, irrespective. Primary school, secondary school, university, the people that are there, the lecturers, the teachers, all of them. These are the people, the so-called villages that we think we have, that are going to help us in instilling the right values in our children. So we want to think about it. Imagine that place. Imagine a place where we put our children and our mind is at rest. Is that not it? Parents, when we wake up today, we want to take our children to school. They're already in school, and we're able to resume into whatever it is that we want to resume to. Our businesses, our jobs, and whatever it is, our work. Having that rest of mind that my child is in the school, you can now imagine what those schools are now perpetrating. You can imagine what those schools, you can imagine what is coming out of that school. Even if it is not a school, even if it is a mosque, even if it is a church, we can imagine what that village has turned to now. So we want to think about it. Imagine family members who we have trust so much to be the nearest village to us. There's this trending, video and story news of Ochanaya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, of a girl that was raped by family members, not just one person. You can imagine, these are our villages. Now think about it. Think about having that village that is not even there to instill the right values in your children. We're talking about people who are maybe uncles to you, aunties to you, who a father has found that his son is doing something, and instead of salvaging the situation, also joined in that, and for good 5 years this continued. So we want to think about, you can imagine if we're just there doing it all alone, raising our child all alone, and thinking, the doubt will come. Am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? And things like that. And you feel that the next best place for you to actually put your child to even get a rest or something is the family members, and this is happening. We can imagine that and see how things are going so bad every day. Family members, having this, doing all of these atrocities, right? So we want to think about it as parents. We want to now be in that place whereby we know that it is no longer something we can just say we want to do it based on whatever it is that we have, thinking that whatever it is that we have is just enough. And that's where the power of a community comes in. We are now talking about lots of digitalization. Where digital helps, we become counselors. Where digital helps, we become therapists for our children, even for us. Think about it. Just like I said that the pros are there, then the cons are there also. Because, of course, we'll be exposed to so many things that we feel that, okay, yes, this thing is there. But the truth is that if we are not getting the things that we're supposed to get from a curated place, where, our values are known and where our values are being, given, it's going to be difficult. Because just like I said, it's just going to be very overwhelming. So as we move on, there's going to be rising form of ethical and moral dilemma. This is something that is happening already, and it's not going to stop, sadly. It is not something that will stop. We have that ethical and moral dilemma, and sometimes there will be, availability of tools, like I said, that make life easier due to advanced educational platforms. We have so many advanced educational platforms. We have so many platforms that, gamification platforms. In my school, we say something like, where I work presently, like gamification, no dedication. Because, of course, there's no dedication. We just want to be in that space whereby our children are on games, they are on screens, they're just there. We feel that we're doing them good. We feel that it is part of them being digitalized. We forget the fact that it is actually doing them more harm than it is doing them good. So these things are going to continue, something that is going to be evolving. I shared a video, I think sometimes last week or 2 weeks ago, about, a particular anime by, I've forgotten the name of this man, whereby, the AI character understands feelings and is in that place whereby she's suggesting so many things to someone. Just the only thing you need to do is just to talk about how you feel. And these AI characters will give you things that you have to do, that you can do, even inappropriate or not appropriate. This is the type of, world that we're getting ourselves into. The question is, how are we prepared? How prepared are we as parents? How prepared are we as parents? There will be over-reliance on technology that will lead to loss of critical parenting and life skills. The life skill is something that I talk about every time, but we feel that it's not something important. And the truth about this is that the more these digital devices come, the more everything is digitalized, the more we lose the common skills that back then, just living day to day, we get those skills. These are the things that we need to sit down and intentionally teach our children, because the avenue that we have now is not giving us that opportunity. It's not giving our children that opportunity to catch that skills like we caught it. And despite the fact that we caught some skills, look at us today. There are still so many things that we're struggling with. Not to talk of children that don't even have that experience whereby they can catch a particular skill. There's nothing they can do. The only thing they have is just, is just social media. The only thing they have is just games, and lots of games on the screen, on mobiles. So we want to start thinking about how to make sure that we actually create a structure that actually help us to teach us what is necessary for our children. To actually be in that place whereby they get the things that they are supposed to get. And that's why it is not something that needs to be done alone. You can imagine being in a platform whereby you have people of like mind, people of like minds who actually share their experiences, who talk about the things that have worked for them, who talk about the things that have not worked, and you're able to pick that and run with it. Whereby you have a structure of, okay, yes, these are the things I want to put in place, these are the things I want to see in my children, and these are the strategies that I'm actually going to use to teach them. So there will definitely there will be soft life. That's what we want. We want soft life. But there will be soft life that eventually leads to tough lives for our children. That's just the truth. There will be soft life of, clicking and getting everything that we want to get. But the truth is that it's definitely going to lead to a very tough life to our children. So it makes us to have children who think critically due to digital overexposure. There will be more of mental health issues. This is something that we already have, but it's not something that wants to stop. It's not as if, okay, yes, this thing is going to stop soon. It's something that is going to continue. It will keep evolving. That's just the truth, right? Screen addiction and the likes of it. There will be lots and lots of misinformation, cyberbullying, and lots more. And that's why we need to balance that benefit of technology with its risk as we move forward. This particular session is not here to actually instill fear in us, because, of course, if you've listened to me very well, I talk about it, that it is not about fear. It is about wisdom. It is not about being in that place whereby you are being, fearful of whatever it is that is to come. But it is about preparing for whatever it is that is to come. As we move forward, the ability to focus, the ability to pay attention, the ability to concentrate. I'm so sorry about that. A call came in. Am I audible? Please, can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please, I need to know before I go on. Okay, I'm audible. Thank you so much, Miss Idaya. So like I was saying, that as we move, there's going to be constant deterioration in focus, right? In attention, in concentration. It's going to be a huge challenge, right? And this thing is not just for children. You can hear me, alhamdulillah. It's not just for children, also adults. Think about it. If you sit down and think about it, you can imagine the amount of distractions that comes to us even as adults. You are just trying to do your business, you are to go about your day-to-day business. Maybe to put something because you're an online vendor, to put something online, and you're carried away by the things that will pop up, by the things that you will see, and you keep watching. And if you are not careful, if you are not intentional as an adult, you will just sway. You will find out that you have scrolled so much, 30 minutes of your time, 45 minutes of your time, 1 hour of your time while you have your to-do list. You can imagine that for us as adults. Now think about it for younger children who do not even have an iota of these skills. I was sharing with somebody today when I shared, about intentionally teaching children skills. The person reached out to me. She said she doesn't, she agrees, but then she doesn't fully agree with whatever it is that I have said. And she gave her reasons, which is quite all right. But then she was thinking more about hard skills. And I was thinking about soft skills. And I was giving several examples of how our own experiences, just living and growing, made us to catch lot of skills. I like to give examples of people who, who go out and you just want to, your mom is just telling you that, okay, yes, I'll take you to so place. So I'm taking you to my friend's place. And the next time you are going to come here, you will come alone. What's going to happen? You focus, you pay attention to the directions that your parents or that your mother takes. Because you don't have any other thing to rely on and say that, okay, yes, if I don't know how she took it, I'm going to. But look at it now. Look at it today. You pick your phone and get the map or get the location of wherever it is that you are going to, and you'll get there. So there is no opportunity for children to actually learn the life skills that is required for them to learn. A lot of children cannot focus in class. I teach children. I'm a classroom teacher, so I can tell you for a fact how all of these things that have come has actually taken away that opportunity for our children to easily learn the skills that are important for them to actually grow, to actually thrive, to actually become. So one thing that the community does is that it helps you to stay focused, because you have people of like mind in the same place trying to move towards the same direction. It makes you to stay focused on the things that are really important. You stay accountable. So it's not just going to be, a lot of the time people come with, who will now be telling me how to raise my children. It's no longer like that these days. Because if you do not know, you need people, you need someone to actually tell you. And it is not about age. It is about, the wisdom that person has to guide you. It is about the knowledge that person has. So this is why, and one of the reasons why a lot of the people, the new song that people now sing is the song of overwhelm. Any little thing you hear people, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. We spoke about this thing previously. You will be overwhelmed because you do not have a curated, you do not have that structure that should actually guide you on your journey. Right? So we see a lot of parents now, apart from the problem of digitalization, because we've heard a lot, we've read a lot. We now see parents in that place whereby they reward their children with games, with screen for doing their chores. Somebody shared a video with me, sometimes early this week. And, this particular person was sharing how her parents were very intentional. And this is somebody that has lots of followers on TikTok. And according to her, she shared that, my parents were so intentional, whatever it is in the morning, if you finish early, if you finish, preparing for school early, blah, blah, blah. And what the parent does is that they make a particular person the king or the queen of the day, whereby they get access to many things. They don't do chores. They don't do all of those things. And that person shared that video with me with the mindset that, yes, LLP is going to relate with this, being intentional and all of those things. But the truth about it is that the information that was being shared in that video is not what intentionality is. I was pained because there are lots of things like that. That was just one that was shared with me. There are lots of things that parents will see like that. They wouldn't share it with me, but they would pick it up as a lesson. So the person was trying to convince us of how intentional our parents were and how whenever it is they do something, they are being rewarded. That is, what happens when there is no reward? What happens when we keep growing? So if we're in that place whereby once our child does something, maybe they do their house chores, they finish washing the plate, they finish doing this, you reward them. When that time comes, when they grow and when they do those things, there will be no reward or there will be no external motivation. There will be no, there will be no external motivation. What happens to our children by then? They won't be able to carry on with the things that they need to do. There's no intrinsic motivation. And when I shared my own opinion to this person, the person was like, please explain to me more. But it's not something I can say I want to explain, to you to actually get it once like that. And that's why a lot of this community was created not because it's so easy to say that, okay, yes, we want to do this, but because we know that this is something that parents need. There are lots of information there. There are lots of information out there that will feel like, okay, yes, this is intentional parenting, but it's not actually intentionality. There are some are going to be very obvious that this is not intentionality. This is just rubbish parenting. Some are going to be very glaring, like one that I shared, I think this week also, whereby I think a 7-year-old was playing with another person's, breast and all of that. That's rubbish. That one is glaring. That's no. This is not intentional parenting. This is rubbish. This is nonsense. But then, what about those ones that are not very glaring? That no, this is not intentional parenting. Like the one I shared just now. So that child was just, not even a child. She's now an adult. She was just sharing how intentional her parents were raising them. But then the question is, if you're in that place whereby the only thing that motivates your children to do their house chores, the only thing that motivates them to carry out their responsibility is when you have something to give them, is when you will reward them with games, is when you will reward them with screen time, is when you will reward them with movies. What happens when those things are no longer there? Or even if they are there. So you can now imagine a child that has been raised in that way, in that manner, that, okay, yes, when you do the things that you're supposed to do, you get this in return, in return, and that child grows. And now that child, that reward that you were giving that child now has, unlimited access to it. What happens? The child does not feel motivated to do whatever it is that she's supposed to do. Are you learning from this session? Am I making sense? Are you getting something from it? Let me hear from you in the comment section. Think about it. There are so many things that will come across, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just something very little. So if you're in that place whereby the only thing you do is that you reward, you don't even know if what you are doing is right or if it is wrong. You just see something, you pick it. You just see something, you pick it. You become overwhelmed because there will be lots of things. For me as a coach, if I come out there to share that, okay, yes, I did this, it worked for my children, this, you might do it and it will not work for you. Such truth. You might do it and it will not work for you. It's not because I told a lie. It's not because what I said is not correct, but because the principles are the same. The principles are the same, but then the methodology might be different. Because you cannot compare my own child to your own child, and that's what a community is going to give to you. You will be able to tailor your whatever it is that you learn. You'll be able to tailor it to fit your own children, to fit your own parenting, that dynamic. Because of course that dynamic is there. So the problem now is that we have all of those things. We have lots of information. I can't begin to talk about it. But then if you do not know what is right from what is wrong, there is definitely going to be a problem. Right? So we now have homes with smart things, smart TV, smart this, smart gadgets, smartphones, without smart children, and with disconnected families. So being in a place whereby you are being reminded, you are constantly reminded of the things that you're supposed to do and the things that you are not supposed to do. That's the power of the community. That's what you get from belonging to a structured place, a place whereby, we have a goal and we're running towards achieving that goal. So the challenges will come. It will hit everybody, including me. But then the differentiating factor is going to be the knowledge and that wisdom that you will use to navigate whatever it is that comes your way. That's going to be the differentiating factor. Right? So the power of a community is that it gives you that collective wisdom, that collective intelligence that will play a crucial role on your parenting journey, because co-parenting in a structured and systemized manner will be more important. And this is what LLP community is going to be giving you. This is what I have, taught. This is what I am bringing together. This is a community whereby, I love to say something that you need to shape the behavior of your children, one behavior at a time. But the problem with us as parents is that we want to shape all of the behaviors. We want them to be able to manage time. We want them to be independent. We want them to always say the truth. We don't want them to lie. We want everything to be perfect, but it's not something that is going to work. But belonging to a community will help you to, put everything into perspective and work on it one after the other. You are not just going to be paying attention on the results, but it's going to be the process that will get you the results, which is what is very important. But because we don't want to follow that process, we are in a world of instant gratification. We are in a world whereby we feel that once we do this, there's going to be results just once. And that's why you see, people cannot even be patient anymore. They send you message, they expect that you respond to it immediately. These are the things that are lacking, that will not make us be able to say that we want to run all of these things all by ourselves. So parents are going to be more confused. Just like, the examples, I'm happy that I was able to give, those examples, so that I will be able to see whatever it is that's going to be coming. Because it will not stop coming. It will not stop coming. It is business for people. It is business for some people. So it's going to continue. So parents are going to be in that place where they are going to be confused with lots of tools outside there. I said it before. There will be so many tools. There will be so many apps, time management app, control app, monitoring app, parenting control. Yes, parental control apps. There's going to be lots of those things out there. But the question is, just as much as those things are, there's also going to be more of hacking of it. We'll get there. So you need to know that belonging to a structured system will help you to cancel the noise out there, because there's so much noise out there. The more the unstructured and uncensored information, the more confusion for us as parents. So if we ourselves as parents, if we are confused, you want to think about it. What is going to become of the children that are looking up? There will be greater personalization in parenting approaches because, of course, It is something that we already know, that child development has changed compared to what it used to be. It is something that has changed. You cannot silence children to ask you why questions. You cannot silence them to tell you that, except the only time you can actually silence them to do that is if you want to damage their self-esteem and their confidence, because they will ask you. But then if you're in that place whereby when they ask you, tell them shut up. When they ask you, tell them it's none of their business. When they ask you, just tell them do as I. Yes, they will do all of those things. But what happens? You are robbing them of that confidence that they will need to thrive in future, which is what is affecting a lot of us today. So there are a lot of alteration in development that we need to pay attention to as parents. So you will no longer be able to do what works for you or what works for your friend, thinking that it's going to work for you. No, just like the my experience that I was sharing when I went out on last weekend. We will be in that place whereby we will feel that, okay, yes, this is a family. This is something that we're trying as much as possible to do all of these things. We're teaching our children the things that they need. We're giving them the things that they need. But the question and the problem is that it's no longer going to be about caregiving. It is no longer going to be about caregiving. It's now more going to be about coaching. We'll get there. Let me just take it one step at a time. So you will no longer be able to do the things that works for your friends. It's going to be the things that are actually work for your own children, knowing their personality, knowing their temperament, knowing what Allah has designed in them. Because of course, it's something that we already know, that children are unique. No matter how you think about it, even twins, they are unique in their own way. They have their own peculiarity. But the question is, how will you position yourself in a place whereby you are able to bring out that strength in, all of them? So this is why a lot of parents, we miss it. We read something online that works for someone else and implement it, but it doesn't work for us because we do not have that knowledge of its application. We do not know what exactly, and the truth, like I always say, we'll share tips, we'll share hacks, we'll share whatever it is, we'll share it out there. But then that's not all there is to raising wholesome children. That's not all there is to raising righteous children. We will share to you, 5 steps to make your children memorize the Quran, 5 steps to make them thrive, 5 steps to make, but that is not what we actually need as parents. That is not the only thing that we need. We need a system that is going to actually help us through this journey. So parenting style is something that has moved. It has moved from a one-size-fits-all, thing. That race of just is it not the way that I raised this? This is the way I raised this. This one turned out this way. This one, it's not going to work because it's no longer going to be a one-size-fits-all thing. It's no longer going to be a thing of they did this to us. If we do it to them too, they will not die. Yes, they might not die, but then you might kill them literally. So if you are still on that table of they did it to us, we didn't die, we turned out okay, we want to start asking ourselves, what is that level of okayness? What is that level of how okay are we? We want to have a deep thought about it. We see people doing things and you see them being consistent, and you will sit down and think about it. What exactly is going on? That's our own level of okayness. So we want to define it. Is it that okayness that we have, that we want our own children to also have? There's going to be change in parenting roles moving forward. So you will no longer be a giver or a controller. So when we say raising children, intentionally raising children, it's going to move from those things that we do. We wash their plates, we cook for them, they eat good food, they wear good clothes. It's moving. It's something that we move. And if we do not move with it, if we do not evolve, there's going to be a problem. So we need to move from that place of being a caregiver or just a controller. Someone wants to say, sit down there, stand up there, sleep there, and all of those things, to being a coach. To being a coach. What does it mean to be a coach? All that I did today, you are here today because of how I have influenced you to come today. I just shared things out there. I just shared information out there. That's the way we have to start thinking of how parenting is going to be. So it's no longer going to be the amount of kids saying, my child is lying. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Just raise your hand, close your eyes. No. You actually need to move from being that a caregiver to a coach who is able to influence. You'll be able to influence your children to actually listen to you. You'll be able to get the ears of your children. I didn't force anyone to come here. I didn't flog anyone to come here. But because you understand whatever it is that you're coming to listen to, you know whatever it is that you're coming to get, you are here listening. That's how it's going to be when it comes to raising children moving forward. So it's not going to be about you controlling, yeah, you must sit down there. Because if your child does not see a reason why they should be there, they will be there physically, but they are not there. Their mind is not there. They are not there mentally. So it's going to be a thing of you becoming a coach and eventually becoming a mentor. It's going to be a thing of becoming a model and eventually becoming that mentor. So think about it. But the problem is that a lot of the time, we feel that it's all about that control. It's all about the ability to flex our muscle. It's all about the ability to shout. No. It is you moving from that being a caregiver, someone who just washes clothes, someone who just, take their children's bath, someone who just prepares them for school, prepare their food, to becoming a coach. Someone who is able to position him or herself to influence her children. You are going to become a model, a working model for your child to look at and say, yes, this is the same thing I would do. Or even if they are not saying it, as you are doing it, they are already copying. They are already seeing it as, okay, yes, these are the things that we need to do. You actually have to be in a place where you are that model. You are that coach. And you eventually become a mentor for your child. And the truth is that if you are not careful as we go on, AI will take up your role if you do not begin to evolve in order to become a coach and not just a caregiver for your child. And this is because caregiving will become mundane. It will become anything that, something that anyone can do. Anything can do. Not even anyone, anything. Anything can do. So you want to position yourself. You want to evolve in a way that you are not, it's not just easy for people to say that, okay, yes, you are not important in the life of your children. So it's no longer going to be that. So if your role does not change as we move forward, it's going to overwhelm you. There's going to be, because it's just going to be like whatever it is that you have is not going to be able to give your children what they need. It's just going to be a matter of you pouring your new wine into old skin. It cannot work. And that's why you need to keep evolving yourself as parents. So you need to be in that space where you guide your children to think critically, to build emotional intelligence and ethical decision making. And this is why learning parenting today is no longer a choice, but a need. It is a need. It is something that we all need. It's where we, and to think about it, there's nothing that would actually change you like parenting. This is something that I know. There's nothing that would change you like parenting. Because think about it, the more you want to think of, I want to raise the best of children, and whatever it is that I do, that is what they will do. The more you become better, the more you try to drop the bad habits that you have and to pick up on new good ones. So as we move on, there's going to be a broader definition of family and community support. The village that is needed will now expand as technology allow, families to connect around the globe for advice, for mentorship, for collaboration. So it's no longer going to be that village that we used to refer to, because things are changing. There will be broader perspective. And the question is that, okay, will you be in a place where you will be able to get the right perspective? Because life is about perspective. Will you be in that place where you'll be able to get the right perspective that you need to actually nurture your children to become what you actually want to see? So one thing that I have known is that community is the future. Community is the future. But you need to make sure that you are building and creating the right ones. So a lot of the time we feel that, I decided to dissolve, the community before coming live today because I wanted to talk about it. We find that, we see it as, yes, I'm in a community, but that's not Because I have know that when we talk about that community, that is not a community. What do you get there? Just updates about sessions like this. Okay, yes, you benefit from. But the question is, whatever it is that you've been learning in the past, how many months that you've been listening, how have you been able to implement them? And that's what a community is. A community is actually supposed to provide you with the things that will help you to learn and implement whatever it is that you're learning, because that is where transformation lies. That is where it lies. So it is the future, but you need to find yourself in the right community. It's not just about being in a WhatsApp community, a Facebook community, a Telegram community. The question is, whatever it is that is being spoken about in that community, how are you implementing it? Implementation and transformation, that is exactly why, that inner LLP community is coming. So it's not something you want to miss. It's not something that is just about. Then, yes, commitment is something that is important, because it's no longer going to be open to all, the previous things that we have. Because if you're not committed to it, there's no how you want to put into practice whatever it is that is spoken about. I can say for a fact that the little that I have shared on all the communities that I have created and all of those things, I can say for a fact that 20% of it wasn't implemented. But then, yes, people will tell you, yes, it's beneficial, this and that. But the question is, are you implementing enough to get the results that you want? So it's something that we already know. There will be more social challenges due to overexposure to idealized parenting models, which leads to unrealistic parenting expectations. You will see so many things. People will now misinterpret intentional parenting. And that's why I don't like the word gentle parenting, because it has been really misinterpreted to the extent that you think about it like, really. And that's what, when we talk about it, we say it's with intentionality. It's not just about, no, don't beat your child, don't do this. No, we have even moved. If you've been listening for me for several months, and you're you're this, you're not unable to control it, we have moved. And that's exactly whatever it is that, the community, that is what, if you're in a community and it's not giving you transformation, you're not able to track your progress. You are unable to say that, okay, yes, I was like this before and now, okay, things are changing. And it's not just about, you're bragging about it. It's not a situation whereby you're telling your children, change. No. It's about knowing that you were doing the wrong thing and you are now doing the right thing, and you're not bragging about what you used to do in the past. So you have to be in a place whereby you would have access to that. So it's not a place whereby you just want to come and be giving your children all that they want, and you want to be in that place whereby you are doing it because you want your children to tell you everything, because your children will not tell you everything. But then you have the wisdom. You have people surrounding your children that will be able to guide your children. You are intentionally curating village that you want for your children. So another benefit you tend to get from a community is lifelong learning. So if you have registered to be a part of the community, we're not coming to eat warao. No, we're not coming to eat dodoikiri. We're not coming to eat dankwa. We're coming to work. We are coming to work because you read, you review, you do your journals, you do the things, you implement, you make your structures. So if it is not something that you are ready to do, it's better not to come. It's better not to come, because it's not just that community that we used to think. No. And we need to know that it is once registration ends, once it is 31st of December, registration ends, and until the next year, inshallah, may Allah spare our lives. So it's going to be a 1-year thing. And why it is a 1-year thing is not because we don't want people in, but because we know that whatever it is that we're going to be, it's going to be us building a foundation and, building the bricks. So not just come when we build the bricks and your foundation is not there. And the early bird offer it ends today. It's something that we already know. We've been announcing this for a long time. If you want to be a part of this, you can still register with 5,000 naira and pay up before, 1st of January. This is something that has been open for some time now, and I would love that you take benefit of it, right? So I was saying that lifelong learning is something that a community is going to give you. And that's why I chipped that in, that it's not just coming to come and complain, or coming to just say, talk. It's about working and getting results. So you will remain where you are if you are not in that place whereby you continually learn. Your children will overthrow you, as a matter of fact, because they have more access. They have more advantage than you have now. They will meet children in their school that will tell them lots of things. So you can imagine when you're not in that place whereby you continually learn, what happens? You become stale. You become stale. Your children will not even be able to look for wisdom. So, and if you're not in that place where you continuously learn, you are going to make a mess of your journey. You are definitely going to make a mess of your journey. So adapting new challenges with new tools, and if you don't have the new tools, you will make a mess. Like I have said, this is something that we need to be able to know that yes, these challenges will come. These challenges will come, and it is something that for me, I know as a coach, these challenges will come, but then it will not be in that place whereby it will overwhelm us. We will not be in that place whereby the only thing we want to do is complain. Hey, yeah, you know those things that we do, we just complain. And at the end of the day, what happens? This is something that is very common. We be in that place, you will talk, and at the end of the day, what do we do? Without even taking, any action as to how all of these challenges will not come and haunt us. So we need to be in that place whereby, parental growth is key. And a community will provide you with more resources on self-education, parenting skills education, personal development. This is because if your parenting is not changing you to become a better person, you are not parenting well enough. Will someone help me put that in the comment section? Let me even feel that people are listening to me. If your parenting is not changing you to become a better version of yourself, you are not parenting well enough. I'm expecting that. Let me see. Who is going to help us write that? Let me read from you. If your parenting is not changing you to become a better version of yourself, you are not parenting well enough. You are not. And you need to be in that place whereby you have to parent your children well enough. Right. Another thing is child empowerment. Child empowerment. You must be well equipped, like I said. You must be well equipped. Thank you, Ms. Idaya. If your parenting is not changing you to become a better version of yourself, it's not, you're not parenting well enough. Yes, thank you, Mr. Iba. Right. So you must be well equipped and more responsible for the empowerment of your children. And if you are not there, you will become a disadvantage for your child. Thank you, Mr. Amina. You will become a disadvantage for your child. We need to know that the future of parenting is not just about raising children, like I said from the beginning. Thank you, Umu. I don't know what that name is. I can just say Umu. Thank you. Right? It will be about raising families that are equipped to thrive in an interconnected, rapidly evolving world. It's going to be about raising children. A lot of the time, when I look at the rate at which, yes, it's a fantastic thing for us that we want to learn more about our businesses, we want to do better, we want to leave legacies for our children, we want to and we say all of those things, but we are not actually equipping our children with the necessary things to actually carry that legacy forward. I was thinking about TMPC. TMPC is coming, inshallah. And, there's a particular topic. There's a topic that I'm going to be taking on the last day. It's about legacy building. And I was actually trying to, I was thinking about the things that I was going to talk about. And I was thinking about it like, I can't even wait for this day. Because legacy is something that we've misinterpreted. You see people who are not paying attention to raising their children and are running after making money, tell them, I'm trying to build a legacy for my children. What happens? You're building a legacy and you're not building your children for that legacy, for them to be able to carry it on. So what happens? We want to raise children. We often say that we want to raise children that are going to be continuous charity for us. Think about it. Continuous charity. What is it that is going to continue? Is it not something that starts that continues? But it hasn't even started on you and you want it to continue. How can it continue when it has not started? Let me leave this discussion for that day, inshallah. May Allah spare our lives. So you need to be an advantage for your child. And if you are not in that place whereby you continually learn, whereby you intentionally build whatever it is that you want to build, you are not going to become an advantage for your children. So we need to know that the future of parenting is not just about raising children. It will be about raising families that are equipped to thrive. So you are raising your family and you are equipping them with the things that will help them to thrive. Yes, in this world and in the hereafter. So it is not something, it is not about, yes, my child, I want to raise a good child. I want my child to be good. If your child is good and your child is not skilled, it's not enough. It is not enough. If your child is just good and your child is not skilled, he or she is just going to be taken advantage of. So be aware that the demand of parenting has changed, and it will keep changing. It's no longer about caregiving. It's no longer about cooking. It's no longer about just daily needs that we provide for our children. No. The demand in parenting will take you out of your comfort zone. It will take you out of your comfort zone. You are not in that place. The comfort zone is that when a child does something wrong, you just pick him, you shout, you do this. That's our comfort zone. But if your parenting is not taking you out of your comfort zone, for you to cringe to see something that normally you just slap your child, you cringe, you say, no, I can't do this thing. If it is not taking you out of your comfort zone, there's a problem. So it needs to take you out of your comfort zone. Just like success is not something that comes to you in your comfort zone. Success in parenting is not something that comes to you in your comfort zone. It's not something that comes to you in a place where you are just used to. They are used to being in that place. No, it will not come to you that way. And that's why you need to think about it. We need to ponder on all of these things. Right? So that demand will take us out of our comfort zone. It's no longer going to be business as usual. It's no longer going to be, sit down and say, may Allah have mercy on us. Because this is something that, may Allah have mercy on us. That's how we conclude everything. Without even trying. And Allah says that man gets only what he strives for. But we are not ready to strive for it. We're in a world whereby there's instant gratification. We just want to get results without even putting in the necessary work that we're supposed to do. So just like I said, there will be so many things. There will be apps, parental control apps, monitoring apps, this. However, there will also be advanced hacking by our children. Yes, there will be advanced hacking by our children because they will maneuver it. They are Gen Alpha now. They will maneuver it. So just like all of those things are coming, children are also getting knowledge too. They are smart. So you don't want to be in that place whereby you are not smart. As a parent, it will be a disadvantage for you. There will be digital scheduling, there will be gamification of shows, there will be this for responsibilities, there will be so many things. Right? There will be digital story platforms, whereby, night stories, you just want to play something for your children to watch. Maybe they said we should play story for them, they should listen to story, and we'll play it for them, they will listen to it. But then, is that what our children actually need? You want to think about the effect of all of these things on our parenting. So as we go on, there will be, a rise in parenting shaming. There will be a rise in parenting shame because you see so many things. You will see, and even if no one is shaming you, you might be shaming yourself. Thinking about the things that you do not have any business with. And this is going to lead to more stress. It's going to lead to more overwhelm. There's going to be anxiety. And it leads to parents trying to constantly meet societal expectations. And that's why we always say that an intentional parent follows a plan. An unintentional parent follows the crowd. But then if you do not have plans to follow, you will follow crowds. So the importance of a community is not something that, we cannot overemphasize it, right? It is, it is that structure that you put in place and you have people of like minds and of the same value who are working towards the same goal. It's easier. It's easier for you to get to wherever it is that you want to get to when you have people around you who are also in that place whereby they have the same thing, they have the same goal. Yes, the methodology might be different. The way you deal with your own child might be different from the way the next person would deal with their own child, depending on the type of child that they are raising. But then you need to know that the principles are definitely going to be the same. Right. And in conclusion, we need to know that a curated parenting community helps you to eliminate overwhelm on your parenting journey when you already have so much to deal with, because there will definitely, we want to make money, we want to do this, we want to do, there will definitely be so many things that we have to deal with. But if you know that you have a community of supportive parents whereby you can always talk, you can always, tender whatever it is that you want to tender, and you will get ample, you get meaningful things, not just from, things that you heard, but from the things that you've learned, from the things that you've read, from the things that from the things that you know that are tested and trusted, right? It's going to definitely, eliminate overwhelm for you. It's definitely going to eliminate anxiety for you, right? It's going to help you to deal with everything that you're supposed to deal with when it comes to, raising your children. It will provide you with the tools and the resources to combat present and future challenges when they come. And like I said, for the fact that you'll be there does not mean that challenges will not come. But then if they come, you will definitely have the knowledge. You have the wisdom to actually deal with it. And people who do not have it will run helter-skelter, definitely. Right? So all of these things will help you to combat present and future challenges when they come, and also provide you with resources to acquire and teach future ready skills, right? When we say future ready, when we say life skills, they are different. When we say future ready skills, they are different. Future ready skills are skills, one of those skills is actually being able to avoid distraction. One of those things, future ready skills are skills that help you to, to turn deaf ears to noise. Yes, they are future ready skills, because these are things that are very important. These are things that are becoming very challenging for people to deal with. And I'm going to end this session with the verse of the Quran in Surah Al-Anfal, verse 62, that says that Allah is sufficient for you. It is He who supported you with His help and with the believer. This is to tell you that, yes, Allah's help is there. However, Allah will definitely send people to us to actually be in that place whereby they are able to help us in their own capability. Believers, right? Allah will definitely not come down. And if you are listening to me tonight, it's not just about, it's not just by chance. It's not just there is definitely something that Allah wants you to take away from this session, and that's why you have that opportunity to listen to me. So this is something that I know, right? And I would love that you please take advantage of the early bird offer. It ends today. After today, we will no longer be taking, we're no longer going to be taking 50,000 naira. It's going to its original price of 65,000 naira, and that's how it's going to be. And if yes, there will still be opportunity for installmental payments, but you have to pay 65,000 naira if you do not register tonight. And also, please try as much as possible to pay up before the 1st of January, so that we do not have any problem with, you have not paid me. Everything is just going to go, seamlessly. And that is why I said that registration for this community is going to be once in a while. So we don't want to be in that, middle of the year saying that we'll take you out because you have not paid for this. No, we're not doing that. We don't do that here. Like a popular man would say on IG, we're not doing that. We're going to be in that system whereby nothing is going to take us out of that system, except we want to face consequences of not doing the work that we're supposed to do. Yes, that one today. So if you are not in that place whereby you are ready to do the work, please don't register. It is work. It is hard work. And just like I will always say, that parenting in this century is not stress work. It is hard work. When you are ready to do the work, you will get the results that you want, inshallah. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really think as of now we have more than 10 people listening to me. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting other people to actually come and join us too. I really do appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. See you again next week, Friday, inshallah. May Allah spare our lives, and may Allah spare the lives of our loved ones. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.